Hey guys, I hope y'all have had a good week. Today I have 4 awesome recipes for you. 3 of them are still in the Crocktober fashion, but they're not all crock-pot, so I didn't advertise this as a full crock-pot video. But we're nearing the end of October. I made so many crock-pot recipes this month and I've had a whole lot of fun doing it. If you want me to keep doing, random crock-pot videos throughout the month, let me know down in the comments. I know I love the ease of them, and I found some new recipes that all my family likes that I'm going to be rotating now throughout the month. And as usual, I will have all of the ingredients or recipes linked down in the description. Be sure to comment on my video and like or dislike, either one. It's engagement and helps my video out. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out my other cooking videos and subscribe to my channel. Now let's get started. First up, I have a cream cheese chicken chili, and if you have never had this, then you need to get on it because it is so good. You can use chicken thighs or chicken breast. Here I'm using a 2-pound package of chicken thighs, a can of chili beans unrinsed, a can of corn unrinsed, and then I rinsed a can of black beans, a smaller can of rotel, either 3 tablespoons of ranch seasoning or a packet. I always pour in just a little bit of chicken broth just to thin it just a little. Like, you don't need a lot because your chicken will give you a lot of juice. And then, as you see here, I'm stirring it, but I'm gonna have to come back in and throw in a tablespoon of chili powder, a teaspoon of onion powder, and a teaspoon of cumin because I forgot that. And then you're going to cover it up and cook it on low for 6 hours. And once you have about 30 minutes left, open it up and throw in an 8-ounce, what do you call it? I don't know, a block, yes, a block, an 8-ounce block of cream cheese that is softened. And then you'll see here, it's completely about 30 minutes later, like I said. And then you're just gonna take the lid back off, stir it up, cut it. You can take the chicken out if you want. I was able to do it while it was in this and it fell apart pretty easily. And that's it. It's so good. And you'll see I topped it with a little bit of shredded cheese and cilantro. Next up, I have a ham and bean soup. First off, you are going to pour a pound of white Great Northern beans into a bowl of water and soak it in your fridge overnight. And then I'm dicing up, I can't talk today, a celery stalk, and then a small onion, really small or fine, whichever one. Just little bitty pieces, not big chunks. Bleh. And once you have drained your beans, you're going to throw them into the crock pot, followed by your celery and onions. And then after that, you're going to just put about a tablespoon of salt and pepper on it as well. And I think I had like 4 cups of chicken broth out of a little container I had in the fridge I wanted to use. So with the other 2 cups, I used just chicken bouillon powder. And then you're also going to put in 6 cups of water. So 6 cups of water, 6 cups of chicken broth. And then you're going to throw in one of the little cubed ham packages, 2 cups to be exact. That whole package was, perfect. And then a teaspoon of dried basil, a teaspoon of oregano, a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, half a teaspoon of liquid smoke, and 2 bay leaves. And you're going to cover it and cook it on low for 8 hours or until your beans are tender. But I think it was about 7 hours for mine, and that's with soaking. And once it is done, don't forget to remove your bay leaves, and it's all ready. This was really good, if you know, especially if you like these. My husband, I feel so bad. I like these every now and then, but I can't make them very often because he is not a fan of bean nights. But I mean, he'll eat them if I make them, and you know, respectable that way. But anyways, I served them with some cast iron skillet cornbread, which is my very favorite, and it was awesome. Next up, I have some Zuppa Toscana for you. I hope I'm saying that right, but you are going to start with browning up a pound of ground sausage. And while that is cooking up, you're going to dice up half of an onion. And once your sausage is pretty close to being ready, you're going to toss in a tablespoon of minced garlic and your onion, and then let that cook up for a few minutes. And while the meat mixture is sauteing for a few more minutes, I am dicing up 4 russet potatoes into, alright size chunks, not too small, but not too big. And once everything is ready, you're going to throw in your sausage mixture into your slow cooker. Top it with your potatoes. Sprinkle in some pepper and salt on top of that, and also just like a pinch of crushed red pepper. Not too much, but it will get a nice little heat to it, but not too much. And then you're going to put in a 32-ounce container of chicken broth and about 2 cups of water. Just kind of eye it. I wanted everything to at least be covered. And then you're going to cover it and cook it on low for about 5 hours. And once it is ready, you're going to remove the lid. It always looks so weird in there when the sausage kind of comes to the surface. Anyway, you're going to pour in a cup of heavy whipping cream. Traditionally, you would put in kale, but I didn't have any. I did have a bag of frozen spinach, so I threw that in there, and I prefer the kale, but this was still as good. And then you'll put the lid back on it and let it heat up for about 30 minutes, and that's it. Typically, I would top it with some shredded Parmesan cheese or something, but I didn't have any. Either way, I love the flavor of this stuff. And now I have some homemade sloppy joes for you and our favorite macaroni and cheese, but that will be in a separate video. You're going to start by browning up a pound of hamburger meat, draining it, and then I just put in some minced onion, about a tablespoon of minced garlic, and stir that up. At this point, you could use regular onions or bell peppers or anything and saute that up as well. A tablespoon of butter, a tablespoon of tomato paste, 2/3 of a cup of ketchup, 1/3 of a cup of water, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, a teaspoon of yellow mustard, 3/4 of a teaspoon of chili powder, 1/2 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, And you can put in a quarter of a cup or quarter of a teaspoon of red pepper flakes at this point. I didn't. And a quarter of a teaspoon of black pepper. And then you're just going to mix everything up and let it simmer for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then it's ready. We just warm up our buns. Like I said, this was a quick, and we always put cheese on ours. But like I said, watch out for my video on our favorite crock pot mac and cheese coming up. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like this video.